I'm sitting in my car right now with the engine running, hands shaking so hard I can barely hold my phone. There's a folder on the passenger seat thick, heavy, stuffed with photographs I wish I could burn out of existence. My chest feels like it's caving in, and I've been trying not to scream for the last 20 minutes because my son is inside the house, and he doesn't deserve to see me like this. I thought I was ready for the truth. I thought knowing would help me breathe again. Instead, it's like someone reached into my chest and ripped out everything I ever believed about love, loyalty, and family, and the worst part. The person she betrayed me with, he's someone I trusted more than anyone else in the world. But to understand how I got here, you have to know what came before. It started small. Too small, at first, to really register as anything more than normal life changes. Emily had always been an open book with me, or so I thought. She's a high school English teacher, the kind of person who used to fall asleep on the couch with her grading papers scattered around her, hair falling into her face, the TV playing softly in the background. Then, little by little, the edges of our life together started to fray. She began coming home later, claiming staff meetings or parent conferences that weren't on her usual schedule. Her phone, which used to be left face up on the counter while she cooked, was now glued to her hand or face down, locked. She changed her passcode, saying it was because Noah keeps opening my apps. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to, but then there were the workouts. Emily was never a morning person, but suddenly she was up at 5 a.m., lacing her sneakers for a jog before sunrise. The first few times, I even encouraged it. Good for you, I'd say, trying to be supportive. But it didn't take long before I noticed the makeup. Just a little mascara, a touch of lip balm, nothing huge, but not something she'd ever done for a run before. And then there was the laugh. The laugh was what started to eat at me. She has this very particular way of laughing when she's caught off guard, low, a little breathless, almost shy. I used to hear it all the time when we were dating. But lately, I hadn't heard it directed at me. One night, I passed by the bathroom and heard it through the door. She was on the phone, voice soft, laugh slipping out like a secret. When I asked later who she'd been talking to, she just said, "Oh, just a friend from work." I should have pushed harder. I didn't. The moment my gut really started screaming was at Mike's barbecue. Mike has been my best friend since we were 12 years old. We survived middle school fights, college hangovers, girlfriends who hated each other, everything. He was my best man at our wedding. He's Noah's godfather. He's family. That day, I was at the grill flipping burgers when I saw Emily and Mike standing off to the side, near the fence. They were close, too close. Her hand rested lightly on his arm, and she was looking up at him with that laugh. My laugh. It was only a few seconds before she stepped back and he turned toward the kids, but the image stayed with me all night. When I asked her later what they'd been talking about, she said, "Work stuff." He was telling me about a client. Her voice was flat, her eyes already moving away from mine. I told myself I was imagining things. That's what you do when the alternative is unthinkable. Then came the hotel charge. I was paying our credit card bill when I saw it, a boutique hotel downtown, charged in her name at 2:43 p.m. on a Wednesday. She'd told me she was at a staff meeting that day. I asked her casually what she'd been up to, just to see. She didn't blink. Meeting ran long. Exhausting day. She kissed me on the cheek and went upstairs. That was the moment I stopped pretending. I found Laura online, a private investigator with 20 years in the business. She didn't give me sympathy or false hope, just listened and took notes. I told her about the late nights, the workouts, the hotel charge. I almost didn't mention Mike. He was the one person I couldn't picture in that role. But I said it anyway. She's been different around him. It's probably nothing. Laura looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Let's not rule out anything." The first few days after hiring her were torture. Every time Emily left the house, my brain spun scenarios. Every buzz of my phone made my pulse spike. 3 days later, Laura sent me a text. "She's meeting someone tomorrow afternoon." I'll follow. That night, I barely slept. The next day, at 5:42 p.m., Laura called. Her tone was neutral, but I could hear something under it. She left school at 3:15, she said. Parked near a coffee shop. Sat in her car for 10 minutes. Then a man pulled up in a silver Tacoma. My mouth went dry. Who? There was a pause long enough for my heart to start hammering. Michael Carter. Everything in me went still. She kept talking. He got in her car, they kissed, then they drove to the hotel. I have photos, but I barely heard her. It felt like the ground had dropped out from under me. Over the next week, Laura collected more than I ever wanted to see. Photos of them holding hands in public, video of them walking into the hotel together, her hands sliding down his back. Receipts for dinners and flowers. A mirror selfie of them, his arms snug around her waist, and one that hit me harder than all the others, Mike holding Noah outside the school, Emily beside him, the three of them laughing like they were the family. I stared at that one until my eyes burned. It wasn't just betrayal anymore, it was an invasion into the most sacred part of my life. I confronted Emily on a Friday evening. She walked in from work, still in her heels, and I slid the folder across the table. Open it, I said. She did. Her face drained of color on the first page, the kiss in the car. She didn't deny it. She didn't even try. She just sat down and started to cry. When I asked why Mike, she said, "It just happened. You were busy. He was there for me." Like that excused anything. The next night, I went to Mike's place. He opened the door with his usual grin, which vanished when he saw my face. "You slept with my wife," I said. No yelling. Just fact. He didn't deny it either. "I didn't mean to hurt you," he said. The same exact words she had used. I told him he was done. As my friend. As Noah's godfather. As a part of my life. And then I walked away. I filed for divorce the following Monday. Emily begged for counseling. I told her counseling is for people who want to fix something, not for people who've been breaking it for months. It's been 8 months now. The rage has cooled. But the scar is deep. I still see Mike's name sometimes in old group texts or Facebook memories, and I delete them instantly. I see Emily when she picks up Noah, and it's like looking at a stranger wearing her face. People talk about heartbreak like it's a clean break. It's not. It's a slow, jagged shattering that leaves pieces of you in places you didn't even know existed, and me? I'm still finding the shards.